Welcome back. In today's video, I show you how to install and configure Immich. Immich is a self-hosted photo and video management solution. Easily backup, organize, and manage your photos on your own server. Immich helps you browse, search, and organize your photos and videos with ease, without sacrificing your privacy. I've had a lot of requests for an Immich video, so here you go. Thanks to all the requesters for the suggestion. Let's get Immich set up. A couple things to note before we get into the setup. We need some locations for our photos to go to. I personally like to put them inside of my data share. That way other applications like Plex can get to them and display the photos and stuff. Some people don't like that. They want them separate. I'm just going to show you the way that I do it, but I thought I'd let you know that up front. And note that it's important that this location is not your current photo location. So if you already have a photo location set up, you're going to want to set up another one. If you installed Immich to the same location, it would not automatically add those photos. So let me go show you my shares real quick. If I go under shares, you'll see here that I've got a photos category already here. These are existing photos. If we go under my data share, in here you'll notice that I've got media. Inside of media, I've got a photo option there as well. I created this one for Immich. Right now, you see it's blank. Let me drag over my file explorer and I'll show you from that side as well. So here I've got photos. You'll see there's existing photos in here. This is just stuff I grabbed off the internet. Got a whole series of celebrity faces so we can import a bunch of people. And then some just random scenes, palm tree images, just stuff. If you go back to my data share, under media, I have a folder here for photos, and this is where my photos are going to end up. If you already have photos inside of your media share here, you could just do what I did, create another share for photos, and then just move everything over there. Or if you want to keep them separate, just create a different share. The biggest thing is we need just a blank location to put the Immich files into. Let's get this off the screen, go back to our main page. And if you don't have a share set up, it's super simple to do. Go click on shares, do add share at the bottom, give it a name, photos, something like that. Comment is up to you. Primary storage array is fine. And then just hit add share. I've already got mine. I'm just going to exit out of this and go back to the main page. One other thing to note is that Immich needs a special Postgres SQL database. So let's move on to installation and get that stuff set up. First thing I'm going to do is go to the apps tab. All right, I got to inject this real quick here. This is strange, this commercial breaker here. It allows you to inject ads into your videos. I don't know. I'm sure there's a use case for it, but I just find it kind of strange. Most people try to rip those out, so I don't know. All right, moving on. Up to the search. First thing we're going to search for is the Postgres SQL _ Immich, which is something from Space Invader, and thanks to Ed for doing that. It's fantastic. So go ahead and type in Postgres SQL _ Immich. You'll see it listed here. You can see Space Invader 1's repository. That's the one we want. Go ahead and hit install. The attention window comes up. We're just going to hit OK on that and move on. All right, we're going to scroll down, all the way down, and we're going to expand to show Docker allocations. And you'll see this item here, the Postgres access port 5433. Double click on that, hit Control F on the keyboard to implement the find feature. You'll see it's finding 3. We're going to scroll down. There's 1, 2 here. There's nothing within our Docker allocation, so that's good. Let's scroll up and see if we can find it. Oh, there it is. It's up in the documentation for it. So we're good to use that one. If it is in use down here for you, you'd have to change that to a different port number. The default port for Postgres is 5432. However, if they have a Postgres database already installed, that port's going to be in use. And that's, I think, why he changed it to the 5433. That port is clear, so I'm going to just scroll all the way down and hit apply. Wait for it to install real quick. And while it's installing, why don't you come join us on Discord? I left a link for it in the description. And I'm going to have some more tea. Lemon ginger today. Good for the throat. All right, once it's done, go ahead and click on the done button. All right, now let's go back to our search box and we're going to search for Immich. So Immich. Go ahead and search. You'll see it listed here, Immich. It's under Immich Genius's repository. That's the one we're looking for. Go ahead and click install. Then you'll see on this attention window, it pops up. It's basically telling us that it needs additional requirements. It needs a Postgres database, which we just installed. And then the other thing it's going to need is a Redis database. We're going to do this set Docker mods option here. We're good with this. Go ahead and click on OK. Then it wants to know what branch we want. We're going to use the default branch. Once again, I'm going to scroll all the way down. Then I'll expand to show Docker allocations. Scroll back up. In the web UI port here, 8080. I'm going to double click on it. Control F to search for it. Finds 4, so most likely it's in use somewhere. 1, 2. Scrolling down. Server port there. And you'll see it is in use by the Binhex Qubit Torrent VPN. And I know from past experience that the port number I'm going to use is 8086 because that one's free. If you look here, I've already got 8084 in use. There's 8083 is in use. So I'm pretty sure that 8086 is the next available one for me. So I'm going to go up here, change the web UI port to 8086. Next down, we've got path/photos. And this is where Immich is going to place its files. So I know I want that in my data share. So I'll click into there, look for data, open that, then under media, and then it was under photo. Once I've got my location, I'll click out of that field to get rid of the rest of that. Path/libraries. This is external libraries that are outside of Immich. This is where your existing photos are at. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in that location, which for me was under my photo share. So I'll scroll down, find photos, click out of there. That's all good. Any photos in this location will not be imported into Immich. They'll just be linked to it. So any changes that are made to those photos will not get updated in Immich unless you refresh, do another scan on it. We'll get to that later. All right, next down, we've got the DB hostname. This is our Postgres database. It wants to know what IP address it is contained at, and this is on the server, so it should be the same as your server address. For me, is 10.0.0.11. The DB username, DB password, and DB database name. These are the defaults that are set for connecting to that Postgres database. The Postgres database we just installed have these exact same settings, so everything's good here. We're just going to move on. Down at the bottom, we've got Redis hostname. I'm going to change this to localhost. The DB port, that is the Postgres port number, and when we installed that, it was set to 5433. If you changed to something else, then just make sure it matches. Everything else here we can skip. We're going to leave it all in defaults. The Redis port, the Redis password, host, all that stuff we're not going to touch. We don't have an outside machine learning host, so we'll leave that the way it is. Everything's good. Let's go ahead and minimize hide Docker allocations. Then the last thing in this list here is add another path, port, variable, label, or device. We're going to need that, so go ahead and click on it. All right, for config type, let's change this from path to variable. The name, let's call it Redis. Key is going to be Docker mods. This is all in caps, _ mods. The value we're going to set to image genius, GENIUS /mods universal -Redis. Once again, it's going to be image genius /mods universal -Redis. Once you've got those set, go ahead and hit add. Now we can scroll all the way down, hit apply. Oh, any good stories? Nothing that comes to mind. Bad drives, more of the same. I think my last video I mentioned that I had a bad drive or two. Gotten it from Amazon. I've gotten them from server parts deals and from Go Hard Drive. Do you have a preference? One place better than another? Let me know what you think is the best. Drop me a message and let me know where you go for the best deals in hard drives. All right, I'm gonna pause. All right, that's done. Go ahead and click done. Now let's jump over to the Docker tab. Over on the left, you'll find your Immich and your Postgres database. Let's go over to the right and turn auto start on for both of those. And while we're here, something that we should probably do is to toggle on the advanced view. So up in the top right, click basic view, the little slider. It'll turn on advanced view. The Postgres database needs to be started before Immich starts. So let's give Immich a little bit of a delay so that the database will have time to get up and running before Immich tries to connect to it. So we find Immich over on the right-hand side here. You'll see auto start. We just turned that on. You'll see wait. It's currently set at 0. Let's give it, I don't know, 10, 15 second delay. So I'll go with 15 seconds just to make sure that the Postgres is up and running. If you've got a fast system and things boot up quicker, you can lower this number. If it's slow and takes a while for things to get going, you can increase the number as well. All right, now that that's set, we can turn off the advanced view. Let's jump over to the Immich icon. Click on it. We're going to drop down and select the web UI. There we go. Immich is prompting us to get started. Go ahead and click on get started. It's going to want an admin email. So here I'm going to put in my demo account. And for password, I don't want that. Google, thank you for the suggestion. Confirm your password and give the user a name. I'm just going to put in my name and then click sign up. Now we got to log in. Put in our email again here, our password we just created, and then hit log in. All right, here we are at the welcome page. It wants us to select our theme next, so go ahead and hit theme. Light or dark? I always go dark. You can choose your theme, whatever you'd like, then hit privacy. You get the option for Immich to map out where your photos and stuff are taken, which is kind of a nice feature. I like it, so I'm gonna leave it enabled. You'll see this does rely on an external service, and I'm okay with it, so I'm just gonna leave it enabled. I'm gonna click on storage template. You'll see here it says that when enabled, this feature will auto-organize files based on user-designed templates, which is fantastic. But due to stability issues, the feature's been turned off by default. So I'm just going to leave it off. Choose if you want it on or off, and then hit done. There we go. Now we're inside of Immich. I'm going to show you around a little bit here, but in order to do that, let's get a few photos in here first. You'll see right here in the center, click to upload your first photo. Go ahead and click on that. Now it wants us to browse to a photo. So I'm going to go to our server in the location that I've already got my photos. So it's going to be //, then the server IP address. And I believe it was under photos. Actually, I'm just going to go there first to make sure. Uppercase or lowercase? It is uppercase. All right. Let's do some celebrities. Angelina Jolie, sure. Find the photo, click open, and there she is. If your photo doesn't show up right away, then you can just refresh the screen and it should show up. So I'm going to add in a couple more real quick. Go to upload. In the same location, going to select them all and hit open. You'll see it hasn't refreshed, so I'm going to hit F5 now to refresh, and there they all are. So I'm going to go do that again. I'm going to go back a level, and I'm going to select everything here. I was hoping to grab all the files within the folders, but apparently not. So let's go back and add a couple more just to get something else in there. All right, boardwalk and fishing pier images. Sure, Control A, open. We'll go back one. Grab some cactus images, and let's grab one more celebrity thing here. Let's go with Brad Pitt. Next one on the list. Open. All right, gonna refresh just to make sure everything's good. Lots of cactus photos, some nice docs, a whole lot of Angelina Jolie, and there's some Brad Pitt. All right, and there's some of our cat and dog. This one just cracks me up. So much for that elf on a shelf. All right, let's talk about some features here. Over on the left side, photos, this is where your photos are at. And you'll notice that they're organized by date, newest to the oldest as you scroll down. Then over on the right-hand side, you'll see a timeline over here, 2023. Click down to 2009. You can click anywhere in there. It'll jump to that area. Each little dot, I believe, is a month. Next down, you've got Explore. This shows you people and places if you've got the people option turned on, and we'll get to that. Next down, we've got Map. If you click onto the map, if it's got GPS coordinates, it's going to show up on the map. As you can tell, I've got 5 here that are showing up in the United States. I'm in Michigan. And as you zoom in closer and closer, it'll get more refined as to where they were taken at. Sharing, you can share albums internally. So you can create albums and then you can have people in your home network. And then you can set it so it's edit mode or view only mode. So they can upload their own stuff and they can have access to their stuff or access to everything in there. Favorites. If you mark a photo as a favorite, then it'll show up here. Let's go do that real quick. Like I said, this one's kind of fun. I like it. If you go into it, click on the little heart in the top corner here, makes it a favorite. We'll go back, click on favorites, and now you'll see it's listed there. And albums, like I said, they can be shared between users of your Immich instance, so users can add their own photos. Then you can give them edit or view only rights. I don't have any albums created, so we'll move on. Utilities. This is a nice feature, review duplicates. Immich can detect duplicates, which is fantastic. If you click on it, it'll show you all the duplicates that it's found. I don't have anything in there yet, so there's no results. Next down, we've got archive and trash, which are just that. You can archive photos and trash photos. All right, before we get into the settings, I got a quick question for you. As you may have noticed, I have a 3D printer back there, and I've got a rather large print that I want to do, and it's like 30 plus hours to print out. And I'm a little worried about it turning into spaghetti overnight. I'll leave a link to the filament that I use in the description. And then, take a look at it, drop me a comment, let me know if it's good or bad or what. If you would, I'd appreciate it. All right, on to the setup. Now let's move into some of the settings within Immich. To do that, let's go up to our avatar icon again in the top right. Click on it, drop down, and go to account settings. I'm going to highlight some items here. App settings, this is where you set the theme, the language, date, time, format, that kind of stuff. The account, this is where you'll find your user ID, your email, your name, that kind of stuff. Usage statistics, this is how many photos and videos you have. It's kind of nice. Right now it's showing I have 271 photos and no videos. API keys, if you need one, you can manage it there. Authorized devices that are connected to it and you've authorized. Download, it's the download settings, how large of a file you want to download for photos. Archive size is 4 gigs right here. You can adjust that. Features. This one's kind of nice. There's some options in here, things I like to turn on. So folders, this allows you to browse by folder structure. I don't do that. I just like the date format off to the side. If you want to enable it, you just toggle it on. Gonna leave that off. Time-based memories. This is kind of nice. It's like Google's version of like 4 years ago today, and it has, a photo of whatever happened. That's turned on. I'm going to go ahead and leave it. I enjoy that. People. This is where you can turn on people detection. Looks like it's already enabled. And I said that you can have it on the left side over here. To do that, you just toggle on the sidebar. Star rating is the next one down. If the EXIF information inside the files have a star rating enabled, you can have it show it here. I don't use that feature. Shared links. This allows you to share outside of Immich to outside people. If you want that feature enabled, this is where you do it. The sidebar, I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on. Clean these up a little bit. Tags are a way to allow you to tag your photos. So one photo can have multiple different tags. It doesn't go by a folder structure. It goes by whatever they're tagged. You could name them like, outdoors or architecture or scenery or whatever the tag is that you want to create. But you can create multiple tags for each image. And this is where you can enable that feature. If you enable it, once again, you can enable it on the sidebar as well. I'm gonna leave that off. I don't tag my stuff. Scrolling down some more, notifications. You can handle notifications here. Password, it's where you change your password. Partner sharing, this is nice. If you have a spouse in the house or children or other people that you want to have access to the same photos, you can add a partner here, and then they have access to your photos and you have access to theirs. The last option here is purchase. There is no direct purchasing of Immich. It is a donation only. And if you find value in Immich and you think it's a great product, then they suggest that you give them a donation. All right, we're done in here, so let's go back to our avatar. We're going to drop down and hit administration. You'll see on the left here, we're under users now. Here we can create users. This is the admin account, so it allows you to edit, but not delete. Any other users, you have the option to edit or delete. Next down, we've got jobs. There's several things listed here, which is kind of nice. You can have it generate thumbnails, extract metadata, external libraries. You can have it rescan. And this is where you do that, hit scan, and it goes. Smart search will allow the AI to scan all of the photos and look for common things. Like if you were to go up to the search and type in beach, it would find all beach-related photos. Duplicate detection. This is where you have it look for duplicates. Face detection looks for faces. Facial recognition looks for faces and matches people. And it's surprisingly good. I was like shocked. I've seen like baby photos and then like adult photos, and it recognizes the person all the way up through. Doesn't always get all of them, but it does a really good job. So in any of these, if you want to run those, find the one you want, you just click on it to start it. It'll go through, run the scan, do whatever it's got to do. So I'm going to do that real quick for these, just so I can show you the features later on. All right, those have all been scanned. We've got the option to transcode videos, storage template migrations. It's pretty much all in here. Let's go over to settings. Under settings, we've got a lot of different options here. You've got authentication, backup settings, image settings, all that stuff. Machine learning is for the facial recognition and the scene detection. We don't really need to change anything in here. It's all set up already. Map and GPS is for the location recognition. We'll leave that alone. Server settings though. This is, if you're going to set up external access for Immich, this is where you need to put in the server domain. You'll put in your public domain name here. And then the welcome message is a little message that comes up on the login page. You can allow public users or you can deny public users. If you set up sharing externally and you're going to share certain groups of stuff, then you'd want to allow public users. That's pretty much all we need here. Next one down is external library. This is where you manage your external libraries. You can create libraries here. Next option down is server stats. It's once again stats on the whole server. How many photos you have, how many videos, the storage space used, and then broke down by user, who's using what. Now they've got the facial recognition done. Let's go back to the image here in the top left. At this point, let me just show you a couple other things real quick before we finish up. Here we've got the option to search for photos. And like I said, with the image detection, you can search for different things. And I said like a beach in that case. So let's type in beach, press enter, and you'll see all the beach related photos. It's kind of neat. Works rather well. Obviously not 100% though. Get out of here. And in the configuration side of it, we had set up the different sidebar items so we can see the albums now. So if we go into Explore now, we should have faces. And sure enough, we do. We've got people listed here. We know this is Brad Pitt, so we can add a name here, hit done, and you'll notice that all these photos are indeed the correct ones. From long hair to short hair, still recognizes the person. It's pretty neat, even with glasses on. We go back, we've got Angelina here. Let's give her a name and hit done. And as you add more and more pictures, you'll get more and more people detected. And it's pretty incredible. I've seen some of mine that are just like a group photo and then somebody is way off in the background or whatever, they're really fuzzy, but it still detects that it's a face. If it's something like that and you don't want them added to your list of people, you can just go in there and get rid of it. All right, I figure that's enough for now. You can get it installed. You can get your photos imported, get everything in there, get all the detection done, get everything kind of polished up in the way you like it. So in part 2, I'll be setting up Immich on an Android phone and configuring it to automatically sync pictures from the phone into the server using Immich. I was going to show the iOS version as well, but my old iPhone here, it is dead, does nothing. Plugged it in, charged it up, right online, trying to figure out how to get it to come back on. Like hair dryer trick, tried that, tried all kinds of stuff. It doesn't work. So I can't show you that feature. But hey, if you have an older iPhone and you want to donate it, drop me an email. Let me know. I'd love to get something to demo kind of iPhone stuff to people and how these apps work. With that being said, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, consider becoming a Patreon. Patreon members get direct access to me on Discord, early access to my videos, and they're both ad and sponsor free. I'll have a link to it down in the description. Until then, check out one of these next. And I'll see you in the next one. Immich is a self-hosted video? What the hell is a video?